So this is the lesson that we did before on theme, but I'd like to quickly run through it just as a reminder of what theme is. So we can think about theme as a life lesson, sort of a guiding principle that maybe older mentors or parents, grandparents tell you about your life. So something like love and friendship dominate all kind of evil is a very broad, sweeping, sort of romantic life lesson. On this page, you see we have tons and tons of little kind of life lessons, so that different characters from Harry Potter taught us. That life is short, life is precious, life is happening right now, don't wait for life to begin. Trelawney taught us that nobody is what they seem. Even old frauds tell the truth sometimes. Neville taught us that you don't need a lot of friends to be able to stand up and do what is right. Hermione taught us that it's good to be smart. So these are things that maybe, you've heard before. Dumbledore, respect is more important than power, and we can overcome our fears. So there's lots of different little life lessons that we come across. This one is kind of funny, okay? So if you know the stories of like Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, okay, so Aurora is from Sleeping Beauty. Refrain from touching sharp objects because she touches that spindle. Belle isn't beauty, it's about what's within. That's from Beauty and the Beast. Jasmine, who, her father is the Sultan, like the king of the nation. Money isn't everything. So you have Snow White, don't accept food from strangers because she takes the apple from the witch. Cinderella, don't stay out past curfew. Okay, so notice how all of these are really general statements. If I just blocked off these names, then I wouldn't necessarily know that these went with those stories unless I, of course, explained it. So that's the whole point of a theme and then a theme essay, is that you have a very general statement and then you're explaining how it connects to the story. So these statements are not summaries of stories. They're not even really the main idea of the story. I could say, I could talk about the main idea of the story in a very different way. So these just show kind of what the author or movie creator believes about things. So all of these are also very general theme statements. Hakuna Matata, things will look better in the morning, all it takes is faith and trust. That's from Tinkerbell, all it takes is faith and trust, and a little bit of pixie dust. Reach for the sky, nothing's impossible, giving up is for rookies, the world is my backyard. That's almost that's like a metaphor, right? So sometimes these theme statements can be a little bit vague. We're going to go ahead and skip this. So here we have also, like I said, kind of explanations as to this overarching theme statement. So I could say that an overarching theme statement is love means facing your biggest fears. And I can use fairy tales to support that statement. That Cinderella walked on broken glass. That's kind of scary. Aurora let a whole lifetime pass. Belle fell in love with a hideous beast. Jasmine married a common thief. Ariel walked on land for love. Snow White barely escaped a knife, because love means facing your biggest fears. So these little details, which I would obviously have to say more if I were writing a real literary essay, but those little details can support a statement. Sometimes the theme is actually directly stated in the book, either by a mentor in the book, like Dumbledore in Harry Potter says a lot of statements that that kind of open that up for life lessons, things that you're supposed to pay attention to. So does Sirius, that we all have light and dark within us. It's like what you choose to act on. In Winnie the Pooh, We have here, you're braver than you believe and stronger than you seem and smarter than you think. So that's also a very strong theme statement throughout the books. And then just keep swimming is sort of a direct statement in Finding Nemo, but it's also a more broad statement. It's kind of a metaphor for, just keep going, keep working. This idea of perseverance is big in Finding Nemo, if you think about it. How they keep looking for Nemo over and over again, and even Dory shows this sort of perseverance even with all of her forgetfulness. So this idea to just keep swimming is a repeated phrase. So that's another thing that you want to look for. Is there a repeated phrase in the book that keeps coming up? And so themes are important because these are how we connect the book to our own life. Because I don't know about you, but I've never had a fairy godmother come to me and, give me glass slippers to wear to a ball. But the reason that Cinderella is popular is not because everybody's had a fairy godmother and knows what that's like. It's because of the theme behind it, that if you keep on believing, the dreams that you wish will come true. It's a very hopeful statement. So all of these little statements are meant to connect you to the story on a deeper level. We're going to quick look at the Full House theme song. And in class, we watched this a few times, so if you want to watch this a few times as well to try to pick up on the lyrics, that's fine. Whoops.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. This old familiar friend, waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, everywhere's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere's a face of somebody who needs you.
I'm going to sing that part for you just a little bit louder so you can understand the words. Everywhere you look, everywhere's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere's a face, somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. So, in that theme song, you have this idea that their home, their house, their family is a place where people are always going to support you, they're always there for you, and theme songs in shows often try to evoke some sort of emotion. A lot of theme songs now don't even necessarily have words, they just have music that's meant to have a certain emotion, but lyrics, when you look at, I know some of you have seen Friends, whether or not I approve of that, but that theme song also has a little bit of a connection to the actual theme of the show. So when we write about theme, we want to consider a few different things. We want to state what the message of that story is. The theme should cover the entire book. The theme should focus on how you as a reader can apply what the character learned. Should focus around what a character learned due to their challenges, their struggles, their conflicts. So we want to think about what did they have to do to overcome a problem. So first I want to think about the main conflict of the story. What type of conflict did they have? Did they have a conflict within themselves, that like a man versus self is just all within themselves? Man versus man, so like a hero and a villain, a protagonist and an antagonist. Man versus the society, so is there a larger society problem? Man versus some sort of unknown, so technology is taking over the planet, aliens, monster, is there some sort of great unknown? This often happens in, dystopian novels. Science fiction is often that man versus unknown. Or man versus nature, just like that survival instinct. What do they have to do to just survive? And what did the character have to do to succeed? So think about that climax of the book, the highest point of tension. What did they have to do in that moment to overcome whatever the conflict was? And then what did they learn from their struggles? What can you sense that they learned that maybe they're going to attempt to carry on in the future? And what can I do as a person that will help me in life? What does the author want me to think about the choices that I'm making? You're going to try to write that as a general statement. So that's what the next slide is about. So some examples of theme statements are things like honesty is important in friendships. Helping other people is what makes a society run smoothly. Bravery is necessary in order to make personal growth. So you see how I'm kind of following this same structure of I have like honesty or helping other people, bravery, and I could use any of my positivity project traits for that. Would be a fantastic place to look for ideas in terms of those, what are those character strengths that we believe as a society really help us be better people and help us live happier lives, more fulfilling lives where we support one another and care for one another. So what is that kind of character strength? And then what about it? I could say something like, lying is bad or stealing is bad. So you could focus on kind of negative things too, if that seemed to fit your story better. But often theme statements tend to be pretty positively stated. And then you're just adding a little bit of detail if you need to. Okay, so not just honesty is important, but honesty is important in friendships. Helping other people makes a society run smoothly. So not just helping other people is good, but okay, what about specify that goodness? Bravery is necessary. Okay, bravery is necessary in order to make personal growth. Because I could say bravery is necessary for other reasons. In your theme essay, then you're going to follow the same structure of, I have in the novel, and I give the title, the main character, whoever, goes through many struggles. He or she has to, what do they have to do to overcome those struggles? And then the reader learns that what? So you notice I replaced the reader knows that instead of the author believes that, because the author believing something can help me get to a theme statement. Like, what does the author think about kindness? What does the author think about love? Like, what are they trying to say about love? What do they believe about it? And then I can now say the reader learns that. What is the reader learning based off of what the author believes? So the reader knows that what kind of like abstract idea, remember this could be a positivity project trait, is whatever because what, and then I'm going to just list out some different things in the story. And you should give some specific details from the story. This could be some summary, but you want to try to find a quote that really supports the statement. That would be very beneficial to find at least one quote that specifically supports your theme sentence. What's something a character says or something a character does that really supports this theme statement? And then how does it show? It shows that, the theme is true. So I'm just going to restate that theme at the end. So most of my writing is really this, because this is only about 2 sentences. Okay, I'm just kind of giving you lots of space here, and then I just have my conclusion sentence. Okay, so this is how you go through and write your literary essay, and you hopefully did this before. Some of you did this exceptionally well in your deep study of character unit, and some of you have a good chance to improve in this historical fiction unit.